Okay, we will start. Again, hello colleagues. My name is Denis Lagutin. I'm sales engineer in Bakotech. We are a certified distributor of AT&T cybersecurity Alien Vault solutions. And today I'm going to show you some great features and modules in Alien Vault USM Anywhere, what this system can do and how it will help us with security management, with incident response, and some other great stuff. So let's start. Uh, First of all, USM Anywhere. First of all, USM Anywhere, it's a system that configured for three main purposes: data analysis, threat detection, and automation and response. It's pre-configured to work with any of your environments. So it doesn't matter if you are working in cloud or you are working only with on-premises solutions. So it can work in any part of your environment and it could help with security anywhere. Um, Nowadays, we have a new challenge for us. It's remote access. And first of all of us organized this remote access with three main ways. So it's VPN, uh, migration to cloud services, or using of remote access software. So every of these ways needs some improvement in security on security basis. You first of all, if you are working, if you're now working in cloud, you need to secure your cloud environment. Then, if you are working through VPN, you need to be sure that VPN connections are monitored and secured. Then you of course need to change some your existing policies because of moving to some cloud environments or because of using some new VPN solutions and so on and so on. And also because of all of your employees or some parts of your or some part of your employees are working now from their home offices and they are now using their own hardware for it, or maybe not. So you really need to change some existing policies, and also its integration with new services, because not every solution that we are used before this remote module before this remote access type of works starts. Um, not every solution ready to work with cloud environments, and not every solution could help us with VPN connections or with securing of these VPN connections. So this is also one of the tasks, one of the challenge that we have now because of remote access. So who need this USM, these USM Anywhere solutions, and what is typical cases of usage of this solution? So first of all, it's threat detection. It's model in which USM Anywhere works like or acts like centralized interface for all of your security purposes, for all of your security operations. So it means that in this type of usage, you have some kind of security in your environment, you have some firewall, you have some domain controller and policies in this domain controller. Maybe you have some cloud-based part of environment, and you need some kind of centralized interface for all of it. And for secure all of it, for make this separate parts of your security like one system. Second typical case of usage, it's incident response. It's some kind of first type, or it's two types, could be uh, some kind the same, but again, incident response. So again, you have some kind of security in your environment, you have some kind of firewalls, domain controllers, endpoint detection and response solutions, antiviruses, some kind of email security appliances, and you need to um, improve your incident response because of you are getting a lot of incidents, and you need again some kind of centralized interface for response for this to these incidents, and you need some kind of centralized management interface for your team because they need to jump from one web interface of one solution to another interface of another security solutions. And again, Alien Vault could help with it, and also it has some ticket systems or investigation system inside. So we will talk about this system later, but it also could help us with incident response. And then compliance. A lot of organizations a lot of organizations have some um, regulations compliances, and they need to store logs securely. They need to store some logs a lot of days, and they need to uh, they need to implement some kind of security in their organizations because of this compliances, some kind of network IDS solutions, or they need to monitor their endpoints, they need to monitor how their user logins to their environments, and etc. And because of it, they need also some kind of CM or USM Anywhere. Uh, okay, so how it works? Uh, First, it helps you to get all the data from your systems with pre-installed engines, and it will automate this process. Again, it doesn't matter you are using now cloud or on-premises solutions, and you're working in cloud on only in on-premises and only with hardware. It doesn't matter. You can collect all the logs, you can analyze all the data from all parts of your environment, and USM Anywhere could help you with this, and it could help with automation of this process. Then threat detection. This threat detection now powered by Alien Labs and by Alien Labs Threat Intelligence. So this team providing threat intelligence. So they are working like a SOC. They have their own security operation center. They have their own laboratory in this security operation center that are working with, and this laboratory working with new data channels of AT&T, and they trying to find some new parts of malware. They trying to find some new botnets, some new command centers of these botnets, and they are sharing this information with the customers. And this is really great threat intelligence that are coming to Alien World USM Anywhere from Alien Labs. And the third part, it's automated and orchestrated incident response. So USM Anywhere has their own apps, like they called Alien apps. It's like additional apps inside USM Anywhere system. They are included in license, so you don't need to pay for them. Only you need to only choose the type of the license that will cover all your needs in these Alien apps. So with these Alien apps, USM Anywhere helps their users to automate and to orchestrate the security events. So, for example, if you get some events from, I don't know, from endpoint, from some firewall about some potentially malware, potentially harmful connection, you could automate the response for these events, for this type of events. For example, you could enable the rule that will block this IP, that will grab this IP from this type of events, destination IP that caused this harmful connection, and block this IP on your firewall. It's like small example of it. As I said before, Alien Vault USM developed to work with all parts of your environment, so it doesn't matter it's some kind of a SaaS solution that you need to are working with, some kind of infrastructure as a service, some Google Cloud or Azure or AWS. Or it's your on-premises parts, physical or virtualized networks, or it's your endpoints. It could work with every part of your environment. So here is the main uh, modules, the main features of Alien Vault USM Anywhere. So first of all, it could discover assets or software and services in your environment. So again, it doesn't matter if this is cloud or on premises. Then it could detect a lot of harmful connections, a lot of malware in your traffic. It could detect some potentially um, again harmful logins to your endpoint, to your endpoints, and so on and so on. So assess again, USM Anywhere has its own vulnerability scanner, and again it works with all parts of your infrastructure. It could help you with user and asset configurations, and it could monitor with alien apps. It could monitor uh, compromised user logins or passwords. Next module is analyzing module. So USM Anywhere has a lot of correlation rules that are pre-installed and these rules also coming with threat intelligence from Alien Labs. It could help you with analyzing of all of these events that are coming from all parts of your environment, and it has pretty big storage for storing these logs. So if you need to store some logs long period of time, you could find the log storage for yourself that will fit all of your needs. Next module is responding module. So you could automate the response actions from USM Anywhere. It could use some actions with endpoints, some actions with network, hardware or software, some actions connected with ticketing system. I will show you all of these alien apps uh, in in the future, and it has its own investigation system inside the USM Anywhere. I also will show you this system, and also reporting module. So it has a lot. Alien Vault USM has a lot of pre-installed reports inside, and we will also see these reports in few minutes. Again, some example of automation capabilities inside Alien Vault. So as I said before, for example, we see some event that connected with malware infection. We see that it has a lot of very high priority. We could create a notification rule that will notificate our team about this event, and then we could create a response action, or we could use response action. So we are grabbing the IP that are connected with these events, with this type of event, and blocking it in our Palo Alto Networks firewall. Then we are going to our endpoint and disable networking on this endpoint with capabilities of host intrusion detection system of Alien Vault agents that are installed on this endpoint. And then we could create a new ticket from that will be connected with this malware infection event, and we could connect this ticket with any of our employees that are registered in our USM Anywhere system. So again, it's like a small part of response orchestration with Alien apps, and not only with Alien apps inside USM Anywhere. So Nowadays, USM Anywhere really getting really phenomenal threat intelligence because AT&T bought Alien Vault company in 2018, and these guys, Alien Labs, now gets access to the data channels of AT&T. As you all know, that AT&T it's one of the biggest company in telecommunication services, so one of the biggest phone and internet provider in the world. So they have really big data channels, and the Alien Labs are searching some uh, incidents in all of these data channels. So the threat intelligence powered by Alien Labs really phenomenal nowadays. They are using artificial intelligence and machine learning in their engines. They have really great certified experts for it, and they send to your USM appliances and USM Anywhere solutions continuous updates with new threat intelligence. Uh, Seems like I didn't delete this marketing slide, but again, you can see that USM Anywhere had a lot of great benefits for businesses, and this info comes from real customer reviews or from, for example, Forrester, and it really could help you with security operations in your environment. So it could save really a lot of hours for your audits, and it could improve this type of security operations and staff productivity in your environment. And it really works like solutions that could find threats and some alarms in your environment. So now we will go to the demo, and I will show you some great features that are connected with integration with cloud services and infrastructures. I will show you how the data analysis works in USM Anywhere, how the events normalization works. I will compare it with some SOC cases. Then we will look at reporting module and investigation module, and then we will look at vulnerability and asset scanning, uh, network intrusion detection system, EDR components of Alien Vault, and a lot of other cool modules and features. So wait a second, please. I will go to the other desktop. So I hope you all see. I'm sorry. I hope you all see now uh, the main web interface of the Alien Vault USM Anywhere. So it's like the main dashboard of this solution. It has a lot of pre-built parts that could that could tell you some interesting information about your environment in general. So how many alarms it registered, how many alarms are connected with some parts of sorry, I forgot the name of this module of this model. So what type of the alarm was. Again, what method of the alarms was, some kind of data source that you have in your environment, threat, events, threat, and so on and so on. So it's like a general interface in the Alien Vault USM Anywhere. One of the great features in the USM Anywhere, it's the dashboards. So if you will enable some kind of alien app that will get some new data, or you will connect your Alien Vault USM Anywhere with some kind of um, with some part of your infrastructure, like Windows infrastructure, you will get additional dashboard. Pre-install it, pre-build it. So, for example, if we will go to the Windows, we see that it has the pre-built interface for it, for the Windows events, and you will get maybe um, for a lot of data sources, you will get the pre-built interface for the data source. So let's go to the integration with uh, cloud environments. In USM Anywhere, it's really easy. So all you need to do is go to the data sources integrations. Sorry, data sources. Um, Sorry, wait a second. Yes, if you will integrate with infrastructure as a service, you need to install the sensor to this infrastructure. It's like a small virtual machine that will grab all the data from the infrastructure, and it will send all this data to the USM Anywhere cloud, and you will get something like that about um, the USM, about asset inventory, for example. So if we will choose, for example, AWS, oh, sorry, uh, let's go to another part. So data sources, sensors. Uh, yes, we see that AWS sensor is connected. So then we'll go to assets, and we see that we really could find the AWS assets, and it will show us all the events that are connected with these assets. We could uh, find a lot more info about it and get full asset details. So we will go to this part, and we see that we get the asset information card. So what type of the asset it is, which what IP address it has, what sensors are working with this asset. We could assign credentials for vulnerability scanning for this asset, and for example, if this asset will be like VMware vCenter, we could assign credentials and connect our USM Anywhere sensor with the vCenter and grab all the data about the machines in this vCenter. So we doesn't need to scan all these networks. We just need to integrate our sensor with VMware vCenter machine. So again, Alien Vault has a lot of pre-installed features about that will help you with automation of security operations. So again, if you need to integrate your USM Anywhere with cloud infrastructure, you just need to install a sensor. So you install a sensor, then you will get all the data from this parts of your infrastructure. Then you will get all mechanisms like vulnerability scanning for this part of your infrastructure, and so on and so on. If you need to connect your USM Anywhere, integrate your USM Anywhere with some software as a services in cloud, you need to use USM Alien apps. So these Alien apps will help you with, for example, Google Suite. So if you will need to grab all the data from your Google Suite, okay, it's disabled, but it's only a demo version. We will see all the data that are coming from the Google Suite, and I will show you it. You need just get the right credentials and the rights in the Google Suite for the account that you will use for connection to this Google Suite. So this is only that you need for the connection. So you will get the credentials. You just pass these credentials, so the service client ID and user email in this in this interface, and you will get the integration with the Google Suite, for example. The same situation with Office 365. So after the USM Anywhere will get the first events from G Suite, or for example, from Office 365, it will enable these types of dashboards. So let's go to the dashboards. We see again, it's like a default dashboard for this type of the data. It has some pre-built parts like for login attempts, what types of this login was, how many failed logins by users, reasons of these failed logins, and so on and so on. What country, from what country all your users connect into to your cloud infrastructure, and so on and so on. So all of these parts are clickable. So if we will click, for example, for this part, what events are coming from the um, from who? From the username Alice, from the data source G Suite audit, and from the for this type of action token authorized. And we see that we see all events that are connected with this user and with this type of events. If we will click on one of these events, we will get more info. Uh, Also, we will get the row type of the event, so we can use it in some kind of third-party systems for deep investigation, for example. Or we could select an action for the incident response from this interface. Again, we could get the forensic information for some forensics. We could scan the asset, or get some query, or send some query to the installed agent if it was installed. Uh, let's go back. So if you I think you see, we have the G Suite audit dashboard, so it will show you all information uh, about user audit and their action audit, and we have G Suite Drive dashboard that will tell you all the information about your G Suite Drive. The same story with Office 365, so we have the pre-installed dashboard uh, for Azure Active Directory, uh, for OneDrive, and for SharePoint. Again, all of these dashboards are clickable, so if we will need to look for more info, we just need to click, and we see all of these events when somebody try to access some file in our SharePoint. So we see what HTTP request was, what file name, what file path, from what country, again formatted and draw type of event. So a lot of information for our investigations, and we could create new investigations right from this interface for again for investigate for some new investigations that will be connected with this event. Uh, I think you understand that USM Anywhere has really easy integration, easy integration mechanisms that will help you to integrate your USM Anywhere with cloud environments. So the same story with some part of your on-premises solutions, or some part of your cloud services for which Alien Vault USM Anywhere has their own Alien app. So for example, if you need to integrate your Alien Vault USM Anywhere with some endpoint security solution, we have Alien Vault USM Anywhere has a lot of pre-installed plugins for that. For example, if you need to connect it with some kind of Symantec solutions, or Palo Alto, sorry, Palo Alto, or Fortinet So you see that we have a lot of plugins for these type of solutions, and you can easily integrate USM Anywhere with it. Let's move next. So data analysis in USM Anywhere. We see this interface before when we click on some kind of modules in the dashboards, but again, you see that Alien Vault has a lot of filtering types with which you could filter your events to your needs and find some kind of event that you need, for example, by source asset. So regarding the name, I think this is Windows. For example, we need to find the file creation time changed events, so by event type. And for example, we need to find some assets from some asset groups. We just click on it. We see that all of these filters are working now. We have no events from this asset group. Okay, let's go back. Only from this type of asset. And we see that we have a lot of info about this type of events. So again, we have all the file names, the category of this Windows event. We see that this is sysmon. We see the source process, the int domain, and so on and so on. We see some kind of description of this event. And again, we could create some new investigation for this event, or we can select some action for this event. For example, get some forensic information from these endpoints, get some basic forensic info, or the users that are created on this endpoint, or get only logged users, and for more investigation purposes. Or create some rule for this kind of event, create the notification rule, and then we will get the notifications that will be connected with this event, our filtering rule or alarm rule, and so on and so on. All of the plugins that will normalize the events in USM Anywhere are updating in online. So you will get the last version of this plugin in few minutes after the creation of this version. So for maybe all assets for which Alien Vault USM Anywhere has plugins, it works really great with them. If you see that you can't find the plugin for integration with your type of the data source, you could ask Alien Vault to create this plugin. It will be like free service for you if you will have the USM Anywhere solution. It's really a great service from Alien Vault, and it's great that it's free. Let's move next and let's see the investigation interface. So you see that we have a lot of new investigations. So let's see this port scanning. As you see, it's like the general ticketing solution, but it will fit all the security needs. So we see all the activity that are connected with this investigation. So when it was created, what alarms are linked to this interface, how this investigation updated, and when we could add some notes. We see all the events that are connected with this, all the alarms that are connected with this investigation. We could add some new events and could add some files to this investigation, could change user severity in intent, status, and all the info of this investigation. So we could really, we have really, sorry, USM Anywhere has really great interface and has really great mechanisms for the investigation purposes, for the incident response and these incident investigations. And you don't need some kind of third-party system for it. You just need to use this investigation module. Uh, so, colleagues, if you have some questions regarding the demo, I will be really happy to hear these questions. It will be like a small pause for it, maybe few minutes. I will check uh, all of the questions that you will send it that you will send. So if you have some kind of questions regarding this interface, I will try to answer you. Yes, of course, you could use chat or you could use answers and questions button. Uh, so feel free to ask me about anything in this solution. I will continue the presentation. So wait a second. Mhm. Let's continue. So we see that USM Anywhere has really great investigation module inside. Let's move to the other features. So again, it's only a demo, so we can't perform some vulnerability scanning, but you could try the USM Anywhere. USM Anywhere has trial versions. For 14 days, you could start a free trial, and you could also look to this demo. It also could be accessed free, and you could access this demo from the cybersecurity.att.com site. As you see, we have some vulnerabilities inside our interface. Our vulnerability engine working with all kinds of infrastructures, so you could perform the vulnerability scanning in your AWS infrastructure or on your on-premises infrastructure too, and you will get the great results about it. So for example, you find some event that connected with potential malware infection on your endpoint. You of course need to be sure that these endpoints are not, this type of endpoints are not vulnerable in your environment. So then you will perform the new scan. You will just need to perform the new scan, choose the target or select it from the list. For example, this Pluto Linux machine. Then you will need to select, you will create authenticated asset scan or not. So you need to just assign the credentials for it. You assign in the credentials and clicking just start scan. That's all. Then after the scan, you will get all the info about the vulnerabilities on this type of assets, on these targets, all info about the services on these assets, and so on and so on. So you could continue your investigation based on this information, or for example, you could create some ticket for some part of your IT operations team, and assign some task to resolve the vulnerability issue on this asset, for example. And again, all of this you could create inside the USM Anywhere interface. In USM Anywhere, we have also a module that's called Network Intrusion Detection System. it works on the background. When you install the sensor in your environment, uh, you just need to mirror your traffic from some kind of core switch on your infrastructure in your infrastructure, and it USM Anywhere will um, perform the detection of some kind of intrusions in this traffic. All of these events that will come in from this module you will see inside the events uh, interface, and you could find all these events by data source, Alien Vault network intrusion detection system. So again, you see that these events could be connected with some parts of, for example, with destinations, with let's see on this event. So we see that our network intrusion detection system in our AWS environment finds some Trojan that called crypto wall, and it was founded by this indicator of compromission. So by the domain, we see the raw payload, we see the information from this payload, so we could also use this for some additional purposes, for some investigation purposes, or we could click on this indicator of compromission, and we will go to the Open Threat Exchange. Open Threat Exchange this is the like social network for indicators of compromission for the threat intelligence. So this is the source of free threat intelligence from Alien Vault, and this is the source of a really big IP reputations database from Alien Vault, and you could find a lot of interesting information about some kind of, you see, domains or IP addresses or some hashes, file hashes in this Open Threat Exchange uh, site. So again, it's like additional source for your investigations. So this is how the network intrusion detection works. So again, you just need to install a sensor in your environment, and then you need to configure a span port or need to mirror your traffic to this sensor. And then it will enable the network intrusion detection system that will search some malware, some harmful connections in your traffic. And again, with this network intrusion detection system, you could use the Open Threat Exchange. This Open Threat Exchange will also send you a lot of threat intelligence info, a lot of indicators of compromisions that will be used with the network intrusion detection system. So for example, if this network intrusion detection system will find some will find some potentially harmful file hash, it will try to find this file hash in the Open Threat Exchange, and if Open Threat Exchange will have some info about it, it will alarm you about it. And the last but not least, EDR purposes on the endpoints inside the Alien Vault USM Anywhere. So as I said before, Alien Vault Anywhere has their own agent that you need to install to your endpoints if you want to get the EDR mechanisms that are connected with this agent. So it has the separate interface for it. You see that we have two Linux agent installed. We could find this assets from this interface. Let's go back, and we could run the agent query on these assets. For example, we will choose this Pluto Linux, and we see that we have a lot of queries that we could run on these assets. So we could get, for example, the Docker containers details, some file information details. For example, if we will choose this type of action, we need to, of course, select the file path, hunt for the traffic to remote IP, hunt for the running processes with no binary on the disks, and a lot of other queries. These queries will be another if this type, or if you will choose another type of assets. So for example, for Windows, you will have some kind of one type of queries. For Windows you will have another type of queries, but again, all the list of these queries will be updated in future, and it will update, and it will get the updates in online. So it's not the full list of the queries. And based on this agent, based on these queries, based on the information that the agent will send you to the Alien Vault USM Anywhere, again, the agent will connect with the cloud directly. So it will, you will not need to create some VPN tunnel for this agent connection on or something like that. It will send all the data to the internet, to the USM Anywhere cloud directly. It will communicate only with the encryption, with the encrypted uh, channels. So it will, this connection will be 100% secure. Okay, so colleagues, let's move to my presentation, and I will move to the end of my presentation. So we see that in demo, we see that Alien Vault USM Anywhere has really easy integration modules that will help you with your cloud services and infrastructures. It has really a lot of plugins for the data, for the events normalization, a lot of filters, a lot of additional modules and interfaces for the data analysis. Oh, sorry, colleagues. I forgot about the reporting tool. Uh, let's move back. So really, Alien Vault has really a lot of reports inside the USM Anywhere. It has compliance templates reports and event type templates. So let's start from the compliance templates. So you see they will be connected with the PCI, with the NIST cybersecurity framework, HIPAA, and ISO 27001. Let's try to perform let's try to get some report, to generate some report based on the ISO 27001 compliance. For example, this inventory of assets. So we just need to click this button. We could add some additional graphs to these reports. For example, top services and top software, and just click to generate report. Unfortunately, we couldn't get a lot of info about top services and software, but we get all the info about our assets. What assets we have, what IPs they have, what the FQDNs of these assets, how many alarms connected with these assets, events they have vulnerabilities or not, some config issues, and so on and so on. So if we will have information about the asset type, we will also have it in this report about owner the same. And again, if we will have some info about services and software, we will have it also in this report. Then we could print it in the PDF, or we could download it in PDF format. It also not a problem. Or we could send the link, and our colleagues could see if they could connect to your USM Anywhere, they will see this type of report, web-based. So Alien Vault has a lot of pre-installed types of reports, and also you could create your own, but you need to create firstly the report that will based on some kind of pre-installed report, and then you could um, customize this report on your basis. So now let's go to the end of my presentation. USM Anywhere supports some key initiatives, so it has a lot of features for your cloud security, for your cloud security operations, for threat detection, for response automation, for security operations optimization, and also for IT compliance management too. So if you will need some additional info or some kind of or you will want to get some kind of trial version for your testing purposes, just send us an email, and stay safe. Thank you for your time. Colleagues, if you have some questions, I will I will wait for them, maybe 3-4 minutes, and then we will end this presentation. Again, thank you for your time.